Have you ever felt like you're standing still while the world moves on without you? Like you're stuck, unable to make progress no matter how hard you try? It's a feeling many of us experience, and it can be incredibly frustrating. But here's something you might not expect. This moment of feeling stuck could be the exact moment that changes everything for you. What if the very reason you feel stuck is actually the beginning of something much bigger? What if this discomfort, this feeling of being trapped, is exactly where your personal transformation begins? I want you to think about that for a moment. We often resist the feeling of being stuck, wishing things were different. But what if, instead of fighting it, we embraced it? What if the key to getting unstuck was not to force our way out, but to understand why we're there in the first place? Louise Hay teaches us a powerful truth. The present moment, no matter how uncomfortable, is the gateway to transformation. She said, "We are each responsible for all our experiences." The moment you realize this, you take back the power you thought you lost. So instead of wishing for change, let's explore how accepting where you are right now can become the first step in your personal growth. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a second and reflect on where you are in life. Right now, in this very moment, you're exactly where you need to be. Feeling stuck doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're standing at the threshold of a new chapter. Ask yourself, what is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? What's keeping you from moving forward? Is there something you've been avoiding? The answers may surprise you, but they're the starting point for transformation. Right now, you're not alone. Many of us are facing similar challenges, feeling unsure or uncertain about where we're headed. But this is where Louise Hay's teachings can make a difference. She teaches that acceptance is the first step toward change. When we acknowledge our struggles, we open the door to healing and growth. So here's your first task. Instead of fighting your current situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this moment? By accepting where you are, you're no longer stuck. You're in the process of discovering what needs to change and where you need to grow. Think about this. What would it look like if you fully accepted where you are in life without wishing things were different? Take a moment to reflect. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start this journey together. Your insights might help someone else who feels the same way. This is your time. No matter how stuck you may feel, this moment is the beginning of your transformation. It's not about perfection, and it's certainly not about rushing. It's about taking that first step, no matter how small, toward embracing the change you seek. Now that we've reflected on the feeling of being stuck, let's dive into the power of acceptance. This is one of the most powerful concepts that Louise Hay shared throughout her life, and it is also the first step toward true transformation. Did you know that acceptance is actually an act of liberation? When we accept our current circumstances, we're not resigning ourselves or giving in to despair. On the contrary, accepting is the first step to true change. Accepting where you are now doesn't mean you have to like everything that's happening. It doesn't mean you have to accept pain, frustration, or challenges as permanent. It simply means you're acknowledging where you are, and by doing so, you make space for new possibilities. Acceptance is liberating because it removes the resistance that keeps us stuck. Louise Hay firmly believed that everything we experience has a purpose. Every situation, no matter how difficult, has something to teach us. When we accept our reality, no matter how uncomfortable, we give ourselves the opportunity to learn and grow from it. Take a moment to think about this. What would happen if you accepted your life as it is right now, without trying to change or resist it? How would you feel if you stopped fighting against your circumstances and simply embraced what is in front of you? It seems hard, right? But this acceptance is the first step to releasing emotional pain and starting to create the future you desire. Accepting where you are is also a way to acknowledge your own worth. Often, when we feel stuck or dissatisfied. And we think something is wrong with us or that we don't deserve happiness. But the truth is, no matter where you are or what you've been through, you deserve love and happiness. Louise Hay always reminded us, you deserve to be happy now. Acceptance of yourself exactly as you are lays the foundation for change and healing. The simple act of accepting yourself and your life circumstances creates a wave of self-compassion. Instead of criticizing or blaming yourself, you begin to see yourself with empathy and understanding, just as a friend would. And with this, compassion comes the desire to improve, to make positive changes in your life. Ask yourself, what in my life can I start accepting today? It may be a small step, like accepting a part of your personality, a work situation, or even a relationship that needs more attention. Acceptance doesn't mean standing still. It's an internal movement that creates external change. What can you accept now that will make room for transformation? I'd love to know. What do you feel you need to accept in order to move forward? Share in the comments, because your journey might inspire someone else who is on the same path. Acceptance is the beginning of transformation, and together, we can support each other through the process. Right now, you can begin to see your potential for growth. By accepting, you're opening yourself to new opportunities, and most importantly, by accepting yourself, you're giving yourself permission to heal, to grow, and to change. Now that we've discussed acceptance, let's take it a step further and explore the concept of embracing change. Change is often seen as scary or overwhelming, but Louise Hay taught us that change is the catalyst for growth. Without it, we remain stagnant. The truth is, transformation requires change. It's through change that we step into a new version of ourselves. And it's through embracing change that we create new possibilities in our lives. At the heart of transformation is the ability to adapt and welcome new experiences. But here's where many of us get stuck: fear of the unknown. We are often afraid to let go of what we know, even if it no longer serves us, because uncertainty feels unsafe. But the truth is, without change, we can't evolve. And by resisting change, we are resisting our own potential. Louise Hay once said, "You have the power to change your life by changing your thoughts." What does this mean? It means that change starts within. It begins with the way we think about ourselves and the world around us. If we keep holding on to old beliefs, patterns, and fears, we are hindering our own progress. Change requires a shift in mindset. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. But when you start to embrace change, you start to unlock new opportunities in your life. Change doesn't have to be as dramatic as we sometimes think. It can start with small, intentional shifts, a new habit, a new way of thinking, or even a new perspective on a situation. Think about it. What change could you make today that would open up new possibilities for you? Maybe it's changing the way you talk to yourself, or letting go of a fear that's been holding you back. Or maybe it's trying something new, something that excites you but also makes you nervous. Change doesn't have to be perfect or immediate. It just has to start. I invite you to reflect on this. What's one small change you could make in your life right now that could lead to big transformation? It could be as simple as deciding to take better care of yourself, setting a small goal, or even practicing positive affirmations every day. Change starts with action. And here's the key: embrace the discomfort. Change can be uncomfortable, but that discomfort is a sign that growth is happening. When we're willing to feel a little uncomfortable, we open ourselves to greater growth and deeper transformation. So, instead of avoiding change, lean into it. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you allowed change to be a positive force in your life? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. How are you embracing change in your life? And what shifts are you ready to make? The most important thing to remember is that you have the power to create change in your life. It's within your control, and it begins with the decision to embrace transformation. So take a moment to reflect on where you want to go and start taking those small steps today. The transformation you seek starts now, with a willingness to embrace the changes ahead. Now that we've discussed acceptance and embracing change, let's dive into one of the most transformative aspects of personal growth: self-love. Louise Hay believed that self-love is the foundation for all healing. It's through loving and accepting ourselves that we open the door to true transformation. Without self-love, we cannot fully heal and we cannot fully grow. But what does it mean to truly love yourself? Self-love is not just about feeling good in the moment or indulging in temporary pleasures. It's about developing a deep, unconditional respect and care for yourself, regardless of your flaws, mistakes, or past. It's about acknowledging your worth, your inherent value, and treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would give to a loved one. Here's the truth. You are deserving of love, and that includes loving yourself. Often, we find it easier to love others, but we struggle with showing that same love to ourselves. We criticize ourselves for not being perfect, for not living up to our own expectations, or for falling short of society's standards. But Louise Hay teaches us that self-love is the key to unlocking a life of peace and happiness. When you love yourself, you begin to create a life that reflects that love. Think about this for a moment. How often do you treat yourself with the same care and kindness you give to others? If you're like most people, it's easy to be hard on yourself, especially when you feel like you're not living up to your own standards. But self-love is not about being perfect. It's about accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all. One of the first steps toward cultivating self-love is to begin practicing self-compassion. This means not only being kind to yourself in moments of success, but also being gentle with yourself when things don't go as planned. Louise Hay often said, "Be gentle with yourself. You are a work in progress." This reminder is vital because self-compassion allows you to grow without judgment. It's about giving yourself permission to make mistakes and learn from them, rather than punishing yourself for them. Self-love also involves setting boundaries and protecting your energy. When you love yourself, you recognize that you are worthy of respect, and you begin to set limits on how others treat you. This doesn't mean shutting people out. It means making sure that your needs are respected and that you don't overextend yourself for the sake of others. By respecting yourself, you teach others to do the same. Ask yourself, how can you show yourself more love today? It could be as simple as saying something kind to yourself, giving yourself permission to rest, or letting go of a negative or belief you've been holding on to. Start small and remember, every act of self-love, no matter how small, contributes to your healing. Here's a simple practice you can try today. Look in the mirror and say, "I love you." It may feel awkward at first, but over time, you'll begin to internalize those words and feel the power of self-love in your life. Louise Hay often emphasized the importance of mirror work in her teachings. By looking at yourself with love and acceptance, you begin to rewire your subconscious to believe in your worth. Remember, you are deserving of love starting with your own. By practicing self-love, you create the foundation for all other forms of growth and transformation in your life. I encourage you to take a moment today to reflect on how you can love yourself more. What's one small thing you can do to show yourself kindness and care? Share in the comments. Let's support each other in our journeys toward greater self-love. Now that we've explored self-love, let's move on to another important aspect of personal transformation: letting go of fear. Fear is something we all experience, and it can hold us back from living the life we truly desire. But Louise Hay taught us that fear is not a permanent state. It is simply a feeling, one that we can choose to overcome. And the best way to overcome fear is to face it head on. Fear often arises from the unknown. We fear what might happen in the future, what others might think, or how we might fail. But fear keeps us stuck in a place of paralysis. It prevents us from taking the steps we need to move forward. However, what if we viewed fear differently? Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, what if we saw it as a sign that we are on the verge of something new and exciting? Louise Hay said, "I choose to feel safe. I choose to feel secure." These words are powerful because they remind us that we have the power to choose how we respond to fear. When we choose to feel safe, we are not denying our fear, but we are choosing to act despite it. Fear becomes less intimidating when we realize that we control how we perceive and react to it. The truth is, fear is often based on our past experiences or the stories we tell ourselves. We may fear failure because we've experienced it before, or we may fear judgment because of past criticism. But these stories do not define us. The moment we decide to rewrite the narrative is the moment we free ourselves from the grip of fear. Think about this. What fears are holding you back from taking action? Are there any old beliefs or past experiences that you are using as a reason to stay stuck? It's time to challenge those stories. It's time to create new beliefs that support your growth and transformation. One of the most powerful tools to let go of fear is to shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, focus on the possibilities of what could go right. Visualize yourself succeeding, taking the next step with confidence, and overcoming obstacles with grace. The more you practice this positive mindset, the less power fear will have over you. Louise Hay also taught us the power of affirmations in overcoming fear. By repeating positive statements, we reprogram our subconscious mind to embrace confidence and trust in ourselves. Affirmations like, "I am safe," "I am capable," and "I trust myself" help us counteract the negative thoughts that feed our fear. Ask yourself, what fear can I let go of today? It could be the fear of starting something new, the fear of being judged, or the fear of failure. Whatever it is, take a step today to challenge that fear. Write down the fear, acknowledge it, and then choose to let it go. Replace it with an empowering belief that supports your personal growth. Remember, fear doesn't have to control you. By choosing to face it and embrace the unknown, you open yourself up to limitless possibilities. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the fear you hold on to. Release it and take that first step toward freedom. I encourage you to reflect on what fear you are ready to release. Share in the comments how you plan to take action despite your fear. You're not alone in this journey, and together we can support one another as we move past our limitations. As we continue this journey toward transformation, let's talk about something truly powerful: rewriting your story. So much of our lives are shaped by the beliefs and narratives we've created about ourselves. These beliefs, whether conscious or unconscious, guide our actions and determine how we show up in the world. But here's the truth. You have the power to rewrite your story at any time. Louise Hay often spoke about how our thoughts and beliefs create our reality. If we believe that we are unworthy or incapable, then our actions will reflect that belief. But the good news is that you can change your beliefs, and by doing so, change your entire life. The first step is recognizing the stories you've been telling yourself. What stories have you been holding on to? Maybe it's the story of failure or the story that you're not good enough. Perhaps you've been telling yourself that you're not capable of achieving your dreams or that you're destined to struggle. Whatever the story is, it's time to rewrite it. The process of rewriting your story starts with becoming aware of the negative beliefs that no longer serve you. These beliefs may have been true at some point, but they don't define you now. It's important to challenge these stories and replace them with new, empowering beliefs. Your past does not dictate your future. Think about this. What limiting belief are you holding on to that is preventing you from stepping into your true potential? It could be something like, I'm not worthy of success, or I'm too old to make a change. Whatever it is, recognize that it's just a story, and you have the power to change it. Louise Hay taught us the power of affirmations as a way to change our beliefs. One of her most famous affirmations is, I am worthy of all the good things that life has to offer. By repeating positive affirmations daily, you start to reprogram your subconscious mind to believe in your worth and potential. But affirmations alone aren't enough. Action is also necessary. You must begin to live as though your new story is already true. If you believe you're worthy of success, then take steps that align with that belief. If you believe you're capable of change, then begin to take small actions toward your goals. The more you act in alignment with your new beliefs, the more you'll reinforce them. Ask yourself, what new story can I begin to tell myself today? Perhaps it's, I am deserving of love and success, or I am capable of overcoming any challenge that comes my way. Write down your new story and start living it. It's important to remember that changing your story is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Each day, you have the opportunity to choose your story. And with each choice, you are creating a new reality for yourself. I encourage you to reflect on the beliefs that no longer serve you and start rewriting your story today. What empowering belief will you adopt to guide you forward? Share in the comments your story may inspire someone else to take their first step toward transformation. As we move forward on this transformative journey, let's explore one of the most important elements of personal growth, embracing the present moment. So often, we get caught up in the past or the future, thinking about what went wrong or worrying about what might happen next. But true peace and transformation can only be found in the present. This is where life is happening, right here and right now. Louise Hay often reminded us that the present moment is all we truly have. When we focus on the past, we relive old hurts and regrets. When we focus on the future, we create unnecessary stress and anxiety. But when we choose to be fully present, we release the burdens of the past and the worries about the future. We step into the space where peace lives. Being present doesn't mean ignoring the past or the future, but it does mean choosing to live in the here and now, where we can find clarity and peace. By embracing the present moment, we free ourselves from the constant cycle of worry and regret, allowing us to experience life fully. Think about this. How often do you allow yourself to truly be present in your life? When was the last time you stopped worrying about what has already happened or what might happen tomorrow, and simply allowed yourself to experience the moment you're in? For many of us, this can be challenging, but it's one of the most powerful steps we can take in our transformation. Louise Hay taught us that affirmations and self-love help us ground ourselves in the present. But another powerful tool is mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment with acceptance and without judgment. This could be as simple as focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or paying full attention to the task at hand. Being mindful brings you back to the present moment, where everything is happening and where true peace exists. Embracing the present also means letting go of the need to control. So often, we try to control the future or fix the past, but in doing so, we create unnecessary stress. The reality is, there's only so much we can control. The rest is simply part of the flow of life. Louise Hay taught us to trust life and trust the process. When we stop fighting the flow and simply accept what is, we find that the journey becomes much easier. Ask yourself, what can I do today to fully embrace the present moment? Maybe it's taking a few minutes to breathe deeply, feeling the sensations in your body, or simply focusing on the beauty around you. When you fully engage in the present moment, you are not only giving yourself peace, but also creating the space for growth and transformation to occur. Take a moment to reflect. What can you let go of today, whether it's worry, regret, or control, that will allow you to be more present? Share in the comments how you are embracing the present moment in your own life. Remember, peace is found in the now, okay? And each day is an opportunity to live fully in the present. By embracing the present, you free yourself from the past and the future. This is where your personal transformation begins. Now that we've covered acceptance, self-love, fear, and embracing the present, let's talk about the journey forward. Transformation is not a destination. It's a process, a journey. And the most powerful thing you can do now is take action. After all, nothing changes if we don't act. Louise Hay believed that every step we take, no matter how small, moves us closer to the life we desire. You've already made significant progress by embracing new beliefs, letting go of fear, and accepting where you are. But now it's time to take those insights and turn them into tangible action. Action is where the real transformation happens. The decisions you make today will shape your tomorrow. And the most empowering thing you can do for yourself is to choose to move forward, even when it feels uncertain. Taking action doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out. It's about making one small choice, one small step toward your goals, no matter how simple it may seem. As Louise Hay often said, the point of power is always in the present moment. It's about making decisions in the now that align with your highest good. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is to commit to one small change, whether it's waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate, setting a new goal for yourself, or starting a new habit that supports your growth. Take action in a way that aligns with the transformation you desire. No action is too small, each one propels you forward. It's easy to get overwhelmed thinking about everything we need to change, but the truth is, transformation doesn't happen all at once. It's about making consistent, incremental changes that add up over time. The key is to start. Once you start, the momentum builds and you begin to see the results of your efforts. And remember, even setbacks are part of the journey. They are opportunities to learn and grow, not reasons to give up. Ask yourself, what is one small action I can take today that will move me closer to the person I want to become? It might be as simple as choosing to believe in yourself or taking a step toward a long-term goal, no matter how small the action, so it will take you closer to your ideal life. Remember, you are not alone in this. As you take these steps, you are joining a community of individuals who are committed to their own transformation. Together, we can share our experiences, inspire each other, and support one another in our journeys. Now, before we close, I want to invite you to take one final action today. Comment below and let us know how you're going to move forward in your journey. What is your next step? What action will you take that will get you closer to the life you desire? This is your chance to reflect, share, and hold yourself accountable. And before we end, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for more videos that will continue to guide you on your journey of personal transformation. Your transformation starts here, but it doesn't end here. Be sure to watch our next video. It will give you more tools to help you on your path. Thank you for being part of this journey. Keep moving forward and always remember, you are capable, you are worthy, and you are deserving of the life you desire.